Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how I created this very simple yet very elegant design. For this design I'll be utilizing Recollections Iridescent Turq as well as Young Nails Mylar in Mint, Icy, and Peace Peace. For my first nail, I'm applying 2 thin layers of Kiara Sky's Skin Tone, and then I'm going over it with a thin layer of Mia Secret's Blooming Gel. Now, I applied it on the full nail. You don't have to, you can just apply it on the top portion of it where you're going to blend the color in. I applied it on the whole nail and I ended up regretting it. As you're applying your polish, don't worry, or your ends, like the turquoise color, don't worry about making sure that it's perfectly opaque and even, because we're going to be applying glitter and mylar over it. So if there's any inconsistency, we can go ahead and cover it with the art. The next 2 nails are going to be covered in Give Me a Beat. I believe I only show you one, but it's essentially, they're just going to be covered in Give Me a Beat for now. One of them is going to have some art on it, but the other is just going to be plain. And here I'm going to go in with that second layer again. So here you can actually see that I'm not applying that blooming gel over the entire nail. I'm only applying it where I know that I'm going to be blending out the color, and that's just to, number one, not waste product. Number two, because I don't have that blooming gel at the tip, it's going to be easier to apply a more solid color. Now, disclaimer, before I put that nail in the gel lamp, I let it sit for a little bit just to bloom. So I'm taking that Recollections Iridescent Turq and I'm applying it from the tip up. I'm basically doing a glitter fade. So I want it to be more concentrated on the top and more faded at, more concentrated on the bottom and more faded on the top. And then here I'm doing a second layer of that just to be sure that the glitter is how I want it to be. But for this layer, I'm only condensing the bottom. I'm not really putting gel at the top. The fade is the way that I like it. I'm just putting it on the bottom. I'm going to do the same thing that I did with that turquoise nail. I'm going to do here, but this time I'm going to do less glitter. Then I'm taking chunks of that Mint Icy and I'm just randomly placing them. I'm trying not to think too hard about it because I feel like when you overthink the placement too much, then it kind of looks stagnant. So I'm just plopping them everywhere, and then I'm gonna go in with that piece and I'm applying them in those in-betweens. And then I'm gonna basically do the same thing to this nail now. So applying those Mylars in different places, getting it nice and beautiful. This design has to be encapsulated. So the first layer I'm doing with ManiQ because it's a really thin viscosity. So it tends to fill in those gaps and go into all those cracks and crevices without creating bubbles. So I do that on both nails. I might do 1 to 2 layers, but I think for this nail design I did only 1. I like to go in with the build pink instead of the clear. When I encapsulate in the clear, especially in whites, it tends to yellow a little bit. So the pink does not do that. I'm not sure if it's the pigments or I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it has a lot more clarity. So I'm not applying it in a floating way. I'm actually brushing it on. I tend to like to brush gel on a little bit more. I feel like it gives me a little more control. I've always struggled with the floating technique, and not only that, I'm actually okay. I don't really struggle with it. I just don't prefer it because I feel like when I do it, I tend to thicken up the nail way too much. I build it up too much. So I prefer to paint it on. I don't get any bubbles when I do it this way. None. When I float, sometimes I get, but when I paint it on, I get none. So, you know, if it ain't broke, why fix it? If you want to float it, go right ahead. But me, I'm not floating it. Here I'm just showing you because I am encapsulating the design. I have to go ahead and file it because it has Mylar and it's a bit bumpy. So I'm taking a 180 file and I'm just filing the top of it. Be sure to wipe off the dust, and then because I'm using Mylars and glitter, I actually like to apply a layer of protein bonds only over the glitter. Top coat the nail with some ultimate finish. So that's how I create this design. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and please subscribe.